Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new to my channel, welcome to my channel. My name is tonibryanne, and my channel is all about beauty, fashion, and discovery, and if you guys want to see more lovely content from me, please go ahead and click that subscribe button right now down below. Today we're going to be doing a different video, not necessarily different because I have done two previous videos about the same categories. I'm working on the Black Lives Matter movement. We are going to continue reminding people that Black Lives Matter, and we're just going to share some stories about certain cases that are considered solved or unsolved. So let's just get straight into the story of Tamla Horsford. Tamla Horsford, mostly known as Tam, was 40 years old at the time of her death. She was married to her husband Lee, who said that if there were three things you need to know about Tam, it's that she loves life, loves her family, and loves you. And that just says a lot about her character and how much he loved her as a woman. So Tam and Lee originally lived in Florida. Then they moved to Georgia because Lee got a job offer. They had 5 boys at the time, and they all gathered their stuff up and moved. The specific part of Georgia they moved to was Cumming, Georgia, and that was in Forsyth County, which is historically known as a very racist county. At one point, that county was strictly white. There was nobody in that county until like the 1980s. I know Oprah did like a segment on them because there was no black people there, and they like purposely did that so that there were no black people there.
We bring you today to Forsyth County, Georgia, just 30 miles north of Atlanta, which in the past few weeks has gained the reputation of being a hotbed of racism. Here are just some of the images of Forsyth County in past weeks that were broadcast around the globe.
There's no niggers here. Why should they even come, you know? They asked for it. They got it, so why'd they come back, you know?
It's hard to believe that this show aired nearly 30 years ago.
So regardless of all of that, Tam was so excited to move to Forsyth County in Cumming, Georgia, because she just wanted a fresh start. She wanted her family to have a fresh start. She knew her sons naturally gravitated to friends. There was no issues with them finding friends or her finding friends because she always had friends, and she was just happy for her husband to have a new job, and she was just ready for a fresh new start. So let's get into Tam's untimely and saddening death. Tam was found dead in the backyard of a sleepover party that she went to the night prior. So at this particular party, Tam did not know all of the women very well, but she did know the owner, and the owner was a woman by the name John. So Tam and John were not super close. They weren't buddies, but they did mostly hang out when it came to their boys. Both their sons were involved in sports together. I believe they played football together. So that's how they got into contact. They were close enough that prior to this party, Tam was at John's house doing pumpkin carving with her boys. Her entire family came, her husband and her boys went. So they knew each other enough. So why Tam was at this party was that it was to celebrate John, who was the homeowner's 45th birthday, and also they were celebrating the fact that football season was finally over, so they were going to kick back, have some fun, and enjoy themselves, so we thought. So as I stated previously, Tam was not very close to the women. I don't think she even knew any of the women like that. If she probably just saw their faces, but from the photos you would think Tam knew them for years, and that just talks a lot about her character and how she was as a woman, that she just naturally gravitated people and she just wanted everybody to be happy and feel welcomed, and that was stated a lot of times from her friends and family. So Tam's family said that Tam was extremely excited for this party because she did not get out more. She was a very family-oriented woman, so she always catered to her sons and catered to her husband. That was so important to her, and she also did have a stepdaughter, and she loved that daughter like it was her own because she had no daughter. She had 5 boys, which is crazy. My grandmother has 5 boys. And she just was excited just to finally just get out the house, kick back, have some fun, and just be a woman without kids and husband. So the party started, I believe, at 7. Tam arrived a little bit late because she was getting dinner ready for her family since she was going to be staying the night at John's house. So she prepared dinner for the family, and then she also made them breakfast for the next morning, causing Tam to arrive at the house between the hours of 8 to 8:30. It's stated that Tam called her husband around 10 p.m. that night, and Tam's husband Lee said that she seemed high-spirited, she was very excited, she was having a good time. He said there was nothing odd or peculiar about her behavior. And about 2.5 hours later, Tam FaceTimed her stepdaughter. She FaceTimed the stepdaughter at 12:30 a.m. and this was like the peak of the morning, the next morning, November 4th. And she was showing her off to the women at the party because Tam's stepdaughter was either pregnant or she just had a baby. So she's just showing her the pregnant belly or the baby. I'm not sure, but I know that it would have to do with the baby. So she's just very excited and showing the women. So the morning of November 4th, 2018, John had an aunt that lived in the basement of their home. I'm quite sure it was a very nice basement, so it probably was like a little mini apartment because John's home was very nice and she was in a very nice neighborhood, 6-bedroom house, very nice. The outside looked nice. So the basement where John's Aunt Madeline lived, it connected to the backyard. So Aunt Madeline went to the front door, so she walked around the backyard and went to the front door of the house, and she was very frantic. She needed to contact and speak to John. This all happened around 8:45 a.m. November 4th, 2018, so the day after the party. So John was in bed with her 27-year-old boyfriend, and Aunt Madeline, she particularly wanted to speak to John's boyfriend, who was Jose. So she's speaking to John now. She's saying, John, like, I need to speak to him. I need to speak to him. I need to speak to him. And John was like, well, what's going on? Like, let me know. And that's when Aunt Madeline let John and her boyfriend know that she saw Tam in the backyard, face down, not moving. So apparently they all rushed to go see what happened with Tam and to see what exactly Aunt Madeline was talking about. And then around 8:59 a.m. the police were called, and here's the call. I'm just going to show you guys a little snippet because it is a very long call, but I will link the rest of the call down below if you guys want to check out the rest of the call and hear it in its entirety.
Forsyth County 911.
Hi, yes, I need an ambulance and a police to my home.
What's the address?
4450 Woodlet Court.
4450 Woodlake?
Woodlet.
Woodlet, okay. All right, 4450 Woodlet Court. What is your name?
My name is John Myers, Jeanne.
Okay, and your phone number is 609.
Yes.
Okay, what's going on?
We had people over last night. We were drinking. Most of us went to bed. One of them stayed on the balcony. She was drinking, and we just went outside, and she's laying face down in the backyard. It looks like I'm guessing maybe she fell off the balcony, but she's stiff.
Okay, is she breathing?
I don't know if she's face down.
Okay, how old is she?
41. Here, hold on.
Hey, this is Jose Barrera.
Hey, have y'all checked to see if she's breathing?
She's not moving one bit. She's not breathing.
Okay.
I just try to assess her, touch her. She's completely face down in the yard. She is stiff.
So after they called the police came and got her, and Tam was pronounced dead at the scene. So on February 20th, 2019, authorities announced that this case was closed and that they were going to consider Tam's death accidental, that she fell off a balcony and she just didn't wake up. So a lot of people from this 911 call said that John sounded very nonchalant. I know some people found it weird she wasn't saying Tam's name. Like, you know, if your friend is injured, you're gonna say, like, my friend, for instance, Monica, like, my friend Monica's hurt, da 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 da. John did not mention Tam's name at all. She was acting as if she was a stranger and she didn't know who this woman was. She didn't sound sad, scared, or anything. So that was a little bit concerning. And then she kept saying that there were cigarette butts like around Tam's body, and she kept saying, oh, she was the only one that smoked cigarettes. Like she was trying to take the blame away from her, from it potentially being her. So John stated around 1:45 a.m. Tam went out for a smoke and then everybody went to sleep shortly after. So it was alleged that Tam probably got too close to the balcony, the edge of the balcony, and then fell over. But it's just weird to me that she went out for a smoke and then y'all all just went to sleep right after. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like if my friend was outside smoking or doing whatever, I'm gonna make sure she gets into the house and goes to bed no matter how old we are. That's just like something, it's girl code, okay? So that's what led the authorities to believe that Tam fell. What also led to authorities believing that Tam fell over the ledge, the toxicology report stated that Tam had alcohol in her system, well over the legal driving limit. The legal driving limit is a 0.08, but Tam's blood alcohol was at 0.24. So it was 3 times higher than what it should be. She also showed traces of THC, which is marijuana, and she showed traces of alprazolam, I hope I pronounced that right, which is basically Xanax. So that basically states that she was drunk, high double because she was taking Xanax and smoking weed. But let's just say she wasn't the only one doing that. So before people try and say like, oh my god, like what? I'm quite sure she was doing that along with all her friends. And mind, she was the only black woman there. So yeah, I just want to state that. So the autopsy said that Tam had severe injuries to her head, neck, and torso. The medical examiner also stated that she had tons of superficial abrasions on her forehead, above her eyelid, and the bridge of her nose, the right temple, and her chin. She also had a laceration on her heart, a fractured vertebrae, and a dislocated wrist. There were no facial broken bones on her, but she had several spots of bleeding on her head. A letter sent to Tamla's husband Lee from attorney Ralph E. Fernandez stated that it's a strong possibility that her death was a homicide. But as I stated previously, this death is ruled accidental. So Tam passed away almost 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. November 4th, 2018 was where she was discovered dead. So honestly, we don't know if it was accidental or a homicide. I just want to make this clear because I know some people say, like, I've seen in some of my comments of these videos that, like, I'm too opinionated, but I'm gonna say this now. This is my opinion right now. What I think happened is that they may have accidentally pushed her off, or someone was playing too hard and accidentally hit her. I'm thinking it was John's husband, Jose, and it was accidental. They just wanted to set it up and frame it as such. It's just like the nonchalantness of the call, like the whereabouts. It was just a very odd and weird story. So I don't really know, but that just seems odd to me. And it's just sad that 5 boys do not have a mother now. A husband doesn't have a wife, and it's unfortunate, it's sad, and I just wish that I could fix it. It sucks whenever I hear these sad stories that's like that person was not meant to die. It's like, I just wish I could tell her, don't go to that party, stay home with your boys. But death is inevitable. Like, no matter where you go, if you're meant to pass away, you're meant to pass away. Like, that's just how it is. Like, when people are like, I don't want you to go here. Like, what if this happens? I'm like, it'll happen regardless. If I'm meant to go, I'm meant to go. But it's just saddening, and you just wish that it didn't happen. I'm going to be leaving petitions linked down below to reopen Tamla's case. I'm just glad that I could get the story out. I know some people are talking about it. I've seen some Twitter posts, some Instagram posts, but I wanted to get out a little bit more so that she gets the justice that she needs and deserves. If there is a necessary need for that, I feel like this case definitely needs to be reopened and looked at a little bit. It just seems odd. Oh, I didn't even state this, guys. Jose was also a police officer, and he was fired after this case happened. I don't know why. If I have more information, I'm going to link it down below or put it somewhere in this video or after this clip. But he got fired from his job, so I don't know what that was for, but it just seems a little off. Which is also another reason why this case could have been tampered with, because a lot of these women were like tied into the FBI, law enforcement, whatever. So they could have been able to like wipe their hands of this, which is really sad in America. You could do that. Basically, I don't know, specifically in America, I live in America, I don't know what happens in other countries, but it's just sad that like if you have ties to like law enforcement, no matter what you do, you could get away with it. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please comment down below what you think happened to Tam. If you guys have any other links to petitions down below, please let us know. If there's anything that I'm missing, if there's anything that I was misinformed about, please let me know down below nicely. There's no reason to come for me and try to bash me and what I do, because I'm doing this for the betterment of society and helping the people's stories get told. This is really important to me, so just say it nicely. I don't need the negativity, because your comment will get deleted, because that's just unnecessary. I don't need that animosity, okay? So if you guys like this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. I will see you on my next video. Love you guys. Bye. Mwah.